Welcome to Just 5 for July 9th, 2015. We are outside in the Redwoods in Arcata, California for an All-Humboldt edition this week. It was 1 year ago this week that Will and I moved back to California, and so it seemed a good time to pay a little tribute to this place that we live in and show you kind of what we like around here. I've always enjoyed the Humboldt coastline from the very first time I saw it, back when I moved out here the first time in '93. There's something about just the rocks and the cliffs, and even on a foggy day like this, that it just looks so stunning. There's a lot to be said for it on a sunny day too, and maybe one day I'll show some video of that up here in Trinidad where this video is taken. It's one of our favorite places to go up and get breakfast because there's a restaurant that's right on a pier, so you can just look out into the water and enjoy the early morning sunrise. Shouldn't be a surprise that we like a good bookstore. And this area has 4 that we love. As you can see from these individual ones, they each have a slightly different interior feel. All 4 of these also take in used books and usually have a good mix of used and new books available. They're just a favorite place. We'll actually make trips into Eureka just to go to the bookstores and kind of check in to see what's there every couple of weeks. The Arcata ones are much closer to us, and we actually get there probably closer to, even sometimes once a week, depending on our trips into Arcata. I think Northtown Books has a special place in my heart, too, because it's one of the places that initially picked up the First Line magazine that a friend of mine and I started back in the 90s, and they still carry it today, which is cool. This window is great, too, because I caught their Pride books while they were still in the window to celebrate that month. Some really good selections there. Unlike the beach and the coastline, going into one of the forests is really not something I do as much as I should. You could tell these trees, which are pretty much shot in the same forest I was in when I was shooting some of the other bits of this video. It's just gorgeous in here. And this one I caught on a sunny day. And with the sun coming through these gigantic redwoods, it's just really gorgeous. There are some other forests down in Eureka and that I travel through when I go to San Francisco, that you even get more of the old growth trees and see just how really beautiful the forest of this area is. And it's kind of my goal in the next year that we're here to get out into the woods more often and just enjoy this as much as I do the coastline. So one of the things that led us back here was actually the number of theaters that there are in the community. It was kind of hard to leave, all the stuff we have on Broadway. But here, there are at least 4 active theater companies, one in Ferndale, 2 in Eureka, and 1 in Humboldt State that pretty consistently make good work year-round. Seen some fun productions of The Addams Family musical, a really good production of Spring Awakening. Saw Thoroughly Modern Millie at Humboldt State, and I'm honored to get to work with a theater company that some friends of ours started up right before we left back in the 90s, and it's still going strong now. Redwood Curtain does a 5-show season and does some pretty diverse work, not the usual stuff that's on the Humboldt stages. Some deep thinking stuff like Clybourne Park and Equivocation, some really witty comedies like Vanya, Sonia, Masha, Spike. And I'm pleased that I get to serve on the board of directors and kind of help guide that theater, work on its website, and help it do its mission to bring good arts into Humboldt County. Besides theater, there's also a lot of painting and photography and museums and Victorian architecture. It's a very artsy place. That's a very nice change of pace from the big city that we were living in before. So the weather here is also ideal. It's kind of like San Francisco. Mornings are foggy. It's coolish with the breeze coming in off the shore. It's early July as I sit here and shoot this, and while I am in shorts, I actually wish I had a hoodie because it's only 63 degrees, even though it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon as I do this, and the shade in here plus the breeze makes it actually a little chillier than if I had actually thought about it when I left the house. I'd have brought a hoodie to do this. But it's nice that, we don't get the Arctic cold that, plagues the Northeast these days. We were very happy to get out and avoid this past winter. But also already while people are sweltering in other places, especially back in New York where we were, we're kind of chilling out here in the 60s, and really summertime here only is in the 70s, and that's usually more towards August, where you get a few days that peak out in the 70s. So we really kind of scored with the whole weather thing. So that's Jeff's 5 for this week, coming to you from the forest in Arcata. Hope you enjoyed this little bit of Taste of Humboldt for this week. There are some links down at the bottom of the video on YouTube as well as on the blog, so you can check out some of the places that I told you about if you want to take a little online tour. And we'll be back next week with another episode. In the meantime, please leave some comments if you'd like to.